All right, Wednesday, December 2nd, I'm Tom Novak. This is your Bring Me the News and Novak Weather Update brought to you by Grand Casino of Mille Lacs and Hinckley. Yes, Grand Casino, of course, sponsoring this, so thank you very much for doing that for us. Again, we've got kind of a broken record here, just not much going on in our atmosphere because we do have a northerly and northwesterly flow not only in the middle layers of our atmosphere, but also up at the jet stream level. What you're looking at right now, this is the visible satellite loop, and you can see just a very subtle, weak boundary now heading south and southeast towards central and southern Minnesota here in northwestern Wisconsin, and that is producing these low, very low stratus clouds over northern Minnesota. It's kept their temperatures a bit cooler up there today, but again, plenty of sunshine here over the southern half of Minnesota and Wisconsin, boosting temperatures up into the upper 30s and lower 40s. Yeah, we'll get a few clouds overnight tonight, but I think sunshine will then return during the day tomorrow to set us up for another really nice day for early December standards. Here were the temperatures this afternoon across the upper Midwest. Look at this, low to mid 40s even as you get into the inner burbs of the Twin Cities metro, that heat island there warming us up a little bit more in the Twin Cities metro. Here are the upper 20s over northern Minnesota where the clouds were. And yes, just 40s and beautiful early December afternoon over much of southern Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Iowa. Here as we go through time tonight, of course, temperatures will cool off quite a bit as the clear skies, yeah, there will be some clouds, but plenty of clear skies will let temperatures drop into the 20s just like they have over the last several nights. And then as we get into tomorrow, again, we're expecting high temperatures near 40, probably right around 40 degrees in the Twin Cities metro, maybe some upper 30s over much of Minnesota and western Wisconsin. But in general, just a absolutely beautiful, beautiful forecast here for this time of the year. Remember, average high should be around 30 degrees and the average low should be in the teens. So we're a good 5 to 15 degrees above the averages right now. Now, snow, yes, we have had quite a bit of snow here over the last month to month and a half. It seems like a distant memory, but take a look at this. I found this very interesting. Almost 2 feet of snow has fallen so far this season up in the Brainerd Lakes area on east and northeast to Duluth. And look at this, in the Twin Cities metro, over a foot of snow has fallen. So there's been quite a bit of snow already for this time of the year, for so early in the season, over much of Minnesota, northwestern Wisconsin. But then take a look at this contrast in where it has not snowed. Southeastern Minnesota, Iowa, southern Wisconsin, very little in the way of snow. And that's also the case up here in northern North Dakota and extreme northern Minnesota. So some areas are really kind of hurting for some moisture. So hopefully we can add to that moisture as we go through the second half of December, because I don't see any precipitation here for about at least the next 7 days. Where it is precipitating here over the last week or so has been over the eastern half of the country. Look at this. Anywhere basically east of the Mississippi River, it's been wet. Meanwhile, west of the Mississippi River, it has been dry. I do expect that pattern to change some, so just hang in there. With the pattern change probably likely as we get into the second half of December. Now, the Climate Prediction Center has come out. They just issued it today. Their forecast for the next 6 to 10 days. So this is looking into next week. We're still expecting some above average temperatures over much of the country, as you can see. And then, of course, here's Minnesota. So still, even as we head into next week, you can expect much above average temperatures here in the upper Midwest, but a change looks to be in the offering as we get towards next weekend. Now, this isn't for this weekend, but as we get into next weekend and then the week after, look at this. Below normal temperatures settle into much of the western half of the country. That tells me that there's going to be a pretty large trough developing over this section of the United States. And if that weather pattern develops, that will mean much colder air and, yes, probably a more active weather pattern for the central and northern portions of the United States, including the upper Midwest and Minnesota. So something to think about here as we get into that 8 to 14 day forecast. Long ways away, but we got to talk about something. All right, here is the extended forecast from Bring Me the News and Novak Weather. Yeah, it looks like a carbon copy from what we've been showing here over the last week with our extended forecasts. But plenty of sunshine, and temperatures a good 5 to 15 degrees above average, not only for the highs, but for the lows as we go through the weekend and then into early next week. All right, that's your forecast. Thank you for joining me. We will talk to everybody tomorrow.